welcome back. I'm so happy you're here. Today's topic is so near and dear to my heart, and it's all about the life cycle of a painting. So going through all of these stages of a painting, good, bad, confusion, ugly, in between, beautiful, all of it. And why, pushing through that messy middle is so crucial. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that I finally relaunched my art website. Woohoo! I actually closed my painting website for about 3 years, and I was just going through some hard times, but now we're back, baby. We're creating, and I want to share my beautiful art with you. It's the start of summer. It's a great time of year, and if you need a gift for a friend, your mom, yourself, if your walls are looking plain, then check out my website. It's in the description of the video, and your support just means so much to me, and I just thank you for being on this amazing art journey with me. Okay, so if you're anything like me, then you probably are living in a graveyard of unfinished paintings. You might start a painting and get really excited about it, and then maybe you get busy for a few days, and by the time you come back to finish it, you've already had, 5 new ideas that you're going to start and you're excited about. Or you start a painting and it's going really well, but then, halfway through, you get really stuck on something, or the colors are looking muddy, and you just kind of say, okay, I'll come back to this later, and you abandon it halfway through. And repeat the cycle. And occasionally you will finish paintings and you really like them, but you still have all those half-finished paintings, kind of haunting you in the back of your head. Is this sounding familiar? And I will do this with movies and books and things too. And it's the same process. Often when I actually force myself to sit through a movie that I'm not really enjoying, but I finish it anyway, I often will like it by the end. Same with books. And now it doesn't mean that we have to finish everything. Sometimes there are things that we just don't enjoy, and that's okay. We can, abandon it. But there is a big payoff and a lot of rewards for sticking through things. And that's what I want to talk about. And again, there is a difference with a painting. When you know that things are not working and you really do need to scrap it and start over, that will happen occasionally. But I think like 90%, 95% of the time, for me at least, it's more so that I just kind of get bored with things and I abandon the painting. It's not that it was like the worst idea ever, because obviously I was pretty excited about the idea in the beginning. It's more that I just didn't want to finish it for some reason. I got bored, or it got difficult, or I was busy, whatever it may be. Now, this may be a hot take, but I really do believe in the power of finishing paintings, even if we're not obsessed with the idea. Now, why would that be? Why would I advocate for finishing a painting that we're not obsessed with? Why not just finish the best paintings and, abandon the ones that we know are kind of mid or not that great? Well, there's a few reasons. Thanks for asking. Let's talk about them. Now, one reason is that we might actually end up liking the painting. We may even have a breakthrough that ends up influencing all our future work. Or we may not. It may be a mid painting, but we won't know until we finish it, until we persevere and go through those stages and overcome things in the painting. I actually dislike most of my paintings, like at some point, whether it's the whole time or in the middle. Often, that is a very common feeling, to not like the work. That doesn't mean that it won't be great afterward, though. It's kind of like when you're scared to, go on a roller coaster or something, and then you're so glad you did at the end. It's like the bigger risk or the more discomfort you feel, often the bigger reward. And actually, my favorite painting that I've ever done is one that I reworked and has like a few layers underneath. I wasn't really sure about it. Had a weird underpainting and everything, but for some reason at the end it ended up being spectacular, and I love that painting. So it's just, you never really know until you stick it out. Now, another reason why finishing paintings is so important is because we will figure out what we like and don't like to paint. By sticking with paintings until the very end, I've learned a few things that I don't like to paint. That is a lot of sharp edges, like buildings, hands, people in general, I don't love to paint anymore. I used to. Animals are kind of difficult for me. I just don't enjoy them as much. But I wouldn't have known all those things unless I finished a whole painting and, tried out that subject matter. And you also can't really say like, I don't like painting buildings unless you really go through the whole process and then assess your experience afterward. You could say, I don't think I like painting buildings, but you won't really feel sure about it until you try it out. Another reason why finishing paintings is important is because it builds a habit of putting things out there in the world. This reminds me of Erica Lee Sears, who is an artist I follow on Instagram. I love her work. And for a long time, she did this painting a day challenge where she just posted one painting a day on Instagram. And watching her process really taught me so much about putting things out there. Sometimes her paintings were a 5-minute rough sketch of a cat while she was in the car pickup line, to get her kids from school. And then other days it was a very, thought out, a little bit more time consuming, beautiful piece of work. But I really respected that she still posted every day. And it's not that the 5-minute sketches were any less awesome. It was just that you really got to see the whole process and it wasn't just a highlight reel. Not every day is gonna be the best work. And that is great because it's building that habit. It's sharing your gifts. It's showing others that you don't need to be perfect and that you can still show up, share, post, or just talk about it. It doesn't have to be an online thing, but whatever your goal is with your art, put it on your website or just talk about it with your friends and family. You can still do that even when it's not a perfect piece. And once we put things out there, we really get that feedback from the universe, from our audience, and we're able to, see what clicks, see what people like, see what people gravitate towards. And that can really influence our work too, because there are pieces that I was like, meh, whatever, and then people love them. Or pieces that I was like, yes, love, and then people are like, meh. So I think, building that habit of putting things out there is so beneficial for just so many reasons. We also want to finish our paintings because we will gain an enormous sense of accomplishment and confidence. We learn so much from going through each stage of the painting. When you're frustrated about a section of your art and you overcome that, and you find creative solutions to get through it, you are showing yourself that you're the type of person who can get through challenges and who can think on their feet, and that you don't need to be so scared of, a little tough spot in the painting. And next time it won't be as scary because you got through it and you actually created something so cool because of that problem solving that you had to do. That critical thinking and creative thinking really fires up your brain, and it's just so good for us. And if you're a little bored with your painting, but you push through and finish it, it shows yourself that you have patience and that you're not addicted to that instant gratification and that you can stick things out and that you're, kind of a person of value and you stick to your word. And maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but I really do think that that correlates. And I think that that patience you use to push through a painting can be applied to, listening to a friend talk about something or staying focused at your day job. It can really apply to so many areas. I really do believe that. Maybe you're doing a tree painting and you realize that it's really missing something and it's looking off, but the only thing that you can really think of is a robin's nest. But you've never painted a nest before. But you're like, well, if I don't scrap this painting, it has to have a nest. So I can either put the nest or scrap it. So you're like, okay, I guess I'm gonna learn how to paint a nest, even though I've never done it before. And then you go and learn that new thing. And now you have that in your tool belt. So it's sometimes pushing through will force you to be creative, learn new skills, and learn how to paint new subject matter, or mix new colors, or learn how to paint a new texture. The possibilities are endless. And all of this just builds so much confidence, and you're going to really ensure that you don't miss out on that growth and those learning opportunities. Another reason to finish your paintings is that it simply gives you more paintings to have in your portfolio. So whether you want to show to a gallery, sell at an art market, sell on your website, sell on Etsy, post on Instagram, post on your YouTube, talk about with people, or just have for yourself to get better as an artist, you're going to have more pieces that are finished and, able to be part of your portfolio. So that is a huge win-win-win. And I'm not talking about bad paintings. I'm saying if it's pretty good and aligns with your other work. Obviously, if it's bad, then, start over. But I'm just saying if it's a pretty good painting and you can finish it and have that as part of your portfolio, great. And lastly, I've kind of touched on this lightly in this video so far, but basically we are breaking that extreme dopamine cycle of like highs and lows and instant gratification and just only wanting to finish things that we absolutely love. We're breaking that cycle. Basically, when we only have highs in our life, it kind of teaches us to only seek like extreme pleasure. And we don't find joy in like more mundane activities anymore. And it can kind of feel very empty and cause us to not feel like we deserve the highs, and they kind of lose their meaning. You know what I mean? You actually do need like the hard work and the trudgery and the confusing times and the messy middle. All of that is necessary for the easy days and the flow state and the smooth sailing times to actually come. You need both. And realistically, at least for me, only about 1/3 of my paintings are gonna be great, right? If even 1/3. Sometimes it's like 1/5 that I actually like love a painting. And that's completely normal. And this ratio may change as we get better and we sort of learn how to make a good painting easier. That ratio may, become better and less paintings will be bad or ones that we don't like. But I think even experts, even like very professional painters for many years, have paintings they don't like regularly. That's okay. That's so normal. If you look at a musician, no one's just putting out hits. Everyone has those songs that you kind of just like skip through on the album, or they're not your favorites, but they're like essential to making the hits actually be hits. If it was just all hits, it's great, but it doesn't make the hits as meaningful. It's almost more meaningful when there's a couple, normal songs and then you have that banger. It's like, oh, wow, that really pops, and no musician has like a whole discography across their life of only hits. And same with paintings. You'll have your hits and you may have filler paintings as well. So I think really accepting this fact helps you to not abandon paintings, because you're like, okay, it's just a filler painting. It's just one of the, normies. It's not a hit, but that's okay. He's still part of the family and she's still welcome at the table and she's still going to go up on my website and, I'm going to love her equally as the hits. Okay, so those were the reasons. Now, I don't want to go too much into tips just because I don't want to do like a how-to video. I really just want to talk more about the psychology behind why I think finishing paintings is so important. But I will give like a couple quick fire tips I have for finishing paintings easier. What's helped me? Number one tip is like painting quicker. Giving myself like a 2-hour timeline, a 4-hour timeline, whatever it may be, and just painting quicker so that I'm finishing things all in one sitting. That has been so helpful. I love doing that. It's a great exercise for detaching from the outcome and just ensuring that you're not abandoning paintings. Painting more often really helps me. So even if it's only 30 minutes a day, just showing up daily to chip away at paintings ensures that no painting is sitting collecting dust and just waiting, and waiting. I'm just working on it every single day, even if it's a little bit at a time. And that's also a helpful tool, is just to try to do like 30 minutes a day of painting or more, but that 30 minutes a day really adds up. And lastly, I just want to wrap up by saying that the more I finish paintings, the easier it gets. The less I finish paintings, the easier it gets to not finish them. It really is that momentum, and it's like a muscle that you have to constantly keep in check, to be honest. It will like leave if you don't keep it going. But yeah, the habit really compounds in a magical, beautiful way, and you really will grow your patience and learn to just trust the process when things get murky, and you'll just have more confidence in yourself the more that you finish hard paintings. Okay, well, I really want to hear about your experience with unfinished paintings. Are you someone who spirals into, leaving half-finished paintings, or have you mastered the art of perseverance? Let me know. And be honest, tell me your struggles, tell me your wins. I want to hear all of it. And if you have any tips for not abandoning paintings as often, then let me know. I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for being here. It means so much to me. Again, if you are in need of some artwork for your walls or for a friend or your mom to, start the summer off right and just have some beautiful flowers in, your home, then check out my art website in the description. and you can take a look at my paintings. And yeah, I'll see you in another video soon, and have a great day. Happy painting. Bye.